Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is many a true nerd, and welcome back to Stellaris. Last time we finally decided to take the war to our southern neighbours, the bloody Kithri. When I say the bloody Kithri, I've never really had anything against the Kithri, really. Let's crack on, I need to come up with a new plan to make this work. Now, this planet should be ready to invade by now. Yep, very invadable. Let's send in the ridiculously powerful Ganlarev armies. Because, yeah, the Ganlarev should be doing a very good job. I've just lost some war score by doing that, unfortunately, but never mind. On the plus side, we did take out one of their space stations, so that will at least mean they're going to struggle to rebuild slightly. Though, I should probably... Oh, hello. Oh, no, those are the Ganlarevs. Hello, Ganlarev friends. This should be an utter walkover. These guys are... Oh, yeah. These guys are very, very tough indeed. We'll tear through them in seconds. Hello, hostile fleet engaged. What? Hang on, where the heck am I right now? Oh, the Kithris have just sent a fleet of strength 5.6 straight on top of my lads. That's a bit of a concern. Yeah, I'm going to be... Right, third murder, you can handle that. First murder, see if you can go and catch these guys. If you can. Yeah. This isn't good. First murder, head over there. They're a little bit bigger than I was expecting, actually. I think we really need to step up our production efforts. New Duckburg, head back over to your space station. I'd like you to just be pushing out the destroyers, please. Never stop producing destroyers. Yep, first murder needs to pull away from there, but this area should be taken over and held without too much difficulty. When I say too much difficulty, they had some big armies defending it. I'm glad that I actually invested in some high quality armies to take them down, because this is actually doing a lot of damage to me, in fact. But luckily, at this point, at this point it's not the east thing in the world. Yeah, I've taken over their military academy world. That's why they had so many armies that were so bloody tough here, unfortunately. And I don't think I've lost an army, which is good. Okay, planet secured, but still only 24 on the war score, and they've got... Wait, what? They've got a 5.6 moving in right now. Where did that even come from? Ah, they're following it right now. That's the fleet I was trying to catch up with. Well, this isn't the worst thing in the world. 5.6 got to be most of what they've got left, to be honest, so... We have, I think that's only like 2 cruisers. Fourth murder, you're literally just 2 cruisers, aren't you? Yeah. Not the best thing in the world, but I think we could do with the reinforcements. Fourth murder, and that's the fleet that's been produced at Duckburg. I need you to start heading down here. 2 jumps if you'd be so kind. First murder is going to attempt to follow these lads here. And yeah, these lads are, it's more flipping battleships. Okay. You lads, head over here. And just basically see if you can pin these guys in place for a second while my lads actually head over. Because where are my lads? My lads are coming in. Oh, everyone's coming in at once. This is about to be one heck of a cluster. Right, you, go for these lads. Oh, they're about to start attacking my lads before my lads are ready. Oh, this doesn't feel good at all. This doesn't feel good at all. Lucky my friends, the Ganlarevs are here. I should have the shields to stand up to at least a little bit of this. I think like they can't have that many more battleships. The 2.7 lads are coming in over here. That's fine. Fourth murder, you're on the move, aren't you? Just get over here and see if you can help out against these lads at all, please. First murder's down to 5.8, but they are losing their shields very, very quickly. Okay, their shields are... Oh, not losing them that fast, mind. Fourth murder's coming in. Fourth murder's coming in soon. Second murder's got a tiny bit of strength here as well. These lads, the 2.3 at the back, are actually not doing a bad job. Just kind of going after these guys. Down 5.1 to 3.5. Okay, first murder's got this. The cruisers have got the hitting power to be taking out these here battleships, which is good. There's also raiders. A Reaver-class raider ship. I don't even know what that is, but it does rather feel like these guys are struggling slightly. And my leader just died in the middle of a war. Well, that's just bloody inconvenient. Okay, we've lost some more bloody strength out of the fleet, but at the bare minimum, we do at least have... Yeah, I think like we've taken out another big fleet there. Right. Time to take stock here. Okay, my armies are recovering nicely down here, which is good at least. So they're going to struggle to take that world back. It's got some good armies on it at this point. Right, I'm going to send 2 cruisers just to guard this world, just so I can keep an eye on what's going on. But other than that, these 2 fleets need to be merged. First and third murder are just going to have to merge together at this point. That's fine. You 2 just kind of head into each other. And then once that's done, this is the strength of... You are trying to send armies, are you? Are you actually going to put your armies down on the ground to help defend this planet? Because if you are, I'm totally down for that, if that's what you want to do. Or can you... No, I think you've seen the planets occupied, unless you've not. Oh, no, you are! They're actually sending reinforcements in terms of the army. That's actually kind of welcome. Okay, so we're up to a 6,000 stack army. That's not even that much. The 6,000 stack army now needs to head over here. First murder heads over in this direction, okay? Meanwhile, the other transport fleet needs to join them pretty soon. I don't want to send them in first. Oh, but this place has a... No, actually. Would you guys actually... Could you guys stop for a second? Yeah, don't do that. Because... Oh? Are they about to send in a flipping... Hey, get over here. Get over here. Engage these guys. If they're about to throw a small 6,000 fleet in over here, let them do it. Just get these guys before they have a chance to warp out. Engage them. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Get on them. Please don't let these guys run away. Let them think that they can take... some of this, or are they just going to immediately go? They are going to... Well, yeah, they're going for it. And unless they decide to emergency FTL out, just picking off like an easy 1,000 of them, that is well worth doing. Just get more on them. Why not? I see no reason not to send in the other cruisers to support. Colony has been established. Beautiful. I'm not too worried about that right now, to be honest. The problem is they've got some really long-range weapons, actually. So they can actually genuinely do, like, quite a bit of damage to me before I have much of an opportunity to do much to them. So, here we go. In come the attacks of our own. I imagine these guys are going to go down very, very... Yeah, they're corvettes. One cruiser. Some destroyers. We're just going to have the firepower to knacker them, hopefully, before they can... Oh, wait, don't nuclear weapons bypass shields? That might be why they're doing so well. I'm so dependent on shields, and I think I've read that nuclear weapons bypass shields. Now, what I want to do next is I don't want to go up here, because bloody up... You're about to just appear here. If you just want to keep throwing reinforcements at us, that's fine. Like, just go for it. Why not? I think that's just a bunch of... corvettes. I mean, if they are just going to keep throwing corvettes at us, I'm happy to keep destroying them. Beautiful, go for it. But yeah, I'm more interested in the fact that we have the problem that they've got these big defensive stations that are actually causing us a bit of trouble to penetrate. If we had like the 15,000 stack fleet, we'd be able to handle it, but I feel like right now we don't. Back on Duckburg, what are you guys doing? You guys are just presumably producing cruisers. Yeah, but it's taking you a bloody while to do. I think I just need to basically send a 5.3 stack army and just see... Well, what do I already know about these areas? I might know something about these areas already. Like, I need to find smaller planets, I think. That's a small planet over here. Jurg Soramien. That could be... I don't really want to get that far down, to be honest. I could take the war way over here to their colonies, because they've got a whole bunch of colony worlds that might actually be quite easy to take, relatively speaking at least. Yeah, because on the colony worlds, they're way less likely to have already set up a whole bunch of stuff, like the big fortress defense stations. That makes sense to me. Let's send first murder over to here and see what they come in on top of. See if there's... Because they can't have fortresses in every area. Hopefully, at least. Now, be ready for anything. 5.3k is not a strong army, to be honest. 8 cruisers, 2 destroyers. It's not very much. And it is... Where are we coming out? We're coming out... You always seem to get drawn right in on top of the bloody thing. I don't know what these things have got. I think this guy must have an upgrade that means he actually just basically gets to magically and miraculously, like, draw your fleet on top of his fortress. Because that seems to happen a lot. And I'm a little bit concerned by Ooh, well, it says we're winning. I don't believe we're winning, to be honest. They've decided to back off. That's fine. That means I can just knacker a space station and then run for it. Which is fine. But then we've got this thing here that I basically... Oh, no, that's only a 1.3k. Oh, sorry. I thought it was, like, as strong as the other one. Okay, well, that's fine. That means we can just take over this planet. Okay. That's good. That means we've taken over this area without much in the way of loss. And just start bombing the hell out of this area. 5.3 should be strong enough to deal with whatever they've got. Meanwhile, the other transport fleet can actually come and join in as soon as it's ready. Marvellous. So this area, this is presumably a bit easier too. Actually, it's a fairly big planet. Fortification's not that strong. It's got some decent defense as mine, but on the other one, it doesn't have a massive offensive army standing by either, so it should be easier to take out. This is going a little bit better now, but this has certainly been a little bit on the dicey side. Now, while we're just bombarding that, let's just very quickly check in on our colonies that we've actually set up, because we've got loads of them. Apparently these guys are not very happy. Oh, we're in an offensive war and you're a pacifist. Okay, fine, that's a reasonable excuse. Now, back on Snowy Quack Prime, the bloody Billnocks just keep bloody showing up. So that's fine. As a result of that, that means we can actually spend a bit of influence upgrading this, because we've actually suddenly got influence to bloody spare thanks to the changes I've made to our diplomatic situation. So that's good. We are, well, we've eaten into our mineral reserves a little bit, I'd say. Why aren't you happy, by the way? You are not happy with... Actually, you're okay, to be honest. You're basically fine. The only reason I think they're not fine is they've just changed as of, like, I think 1.2.1, the way happiness is. It used to be base 60, I think. Now it's base 50, so everyone just looks a little bit less happy than they used to. While everyone's so miserable, we could definitely do with increasing the happiness. So I'm going to put some paradise domes. Why is that paradise dome so cheap? I thought it was a bit more expensive than that. Maybe it is only 10 influence, but there's been like a 10% reduction for some reason. Yeah, let's get habitability up. We've got increasingly mixed populations, so I feel like we ought to do that. And of course, one of the reasons we did all of this, now that we've got that colony established, we can officially now wrap up that lovely frontier outpost. There we are. That's getting the influence coming in now. 3.7 a month. That's more like it. That's the point where we can start thinking about flipping edicts. Okay, now, reinforcements just keep flooding in from above. So, over here, we've got, not exactly a spectacular fleet, but enough of one for now, at least. We've got, like, you know, we've got 2,000 strength here at the minute, and more coming in momentarily. So we should have about 3,000 strength there in a moment. And over here, meanwhile, we'll be taking this world shortly, which is a good sign. Actually, I'll tell you what else I'm doing that is kind of silly. Well, one, I'm having all these fleets kind of just be separate, which is very, very messy, and they shouldn't all be separate. Just all of you merge into one if you'd be so kind. Thank you. That will all be much, much better. Everyone just merge into one fleet, so it's a bit neater. But more importantly, as I think about it now, this cannot be the most effective way for you to all merge into one fleet. I refuse to admit it. I've upgraded all of my flipping spaceports. Not long ago either, for the specific reason that I thought we would be able to increase the fleet capacity by doing so, and we were able to do so. But, oh, this is only level 2. Oh, I'm not sure this counts, by the way. I think I didn't do this one because this one's actually not technically in our empire anymore. But as a result of that, technically, all of my spaceports can produce, because this is... That's only level 2. Why did I not do that one? I should have done this one. I think I just forgot to do that one for some reason. Yeah, eat some minerals. I think we've got... Well, so we've got plenty of minerals. We've eaten like half our flipping stockpile already. Go over to the Grand Money Bin. The Grand Money Bin is just now sitting on a flipping large thing over here. Yeah, I'd say get a nice... Why can't I have the... Did I have a research? Destroyer assembly yards? Interestingly, apparently I didn't. Well, you know what? Let's get Corvette assembly yards built here. Why the heck not? And then we can start just actually churning Corvettes out of the money bin, which strikes me as a very good thing to do. Meanwhile, I think I've been ignoring my research for a bit. Hydroponics 3, not very good. Oh, yeah. I'd say like that leadership thing I just researched has probably unlocked a whole bunch of stuff because I've never seen that one before, and I'm seeing a lot of repeats otherwise. Collective Self. What does that mean? Empire leader capacity +2, not spectacular. But the recruitment cost down 10%. That could be worth it just for that. Yeah, sure, why not? Get on that. It'll take you a little while, but it will actually at least do something useful. And that's the fortifications cleared up. Right, send in our lads. Hopefully they won't have such a difficult time as they did last time. Now, how's the invasion going? Oh, they've got a lot of defense. These guys have genuinely built up one hell of a big defensive force, more than I was expecting. These are my post the Mighty Duck lads. These lads are not actually that good. Yeah, this isn't going to work at all, is it? Oh, but the nice thing is, even if I decide to retreat rather than lose these guys, and I think I'm going to have to do that, they can't heal. They have no way of healing because I'm bombarding the planet, so their armies can't actually heal up. So before we actually lose anyone, we will simply, or maybe I'll just lose, and activate retreat protocol. The invasion failed, that's fine, because it was non-decisive. These guys even heal up, by the way. Are they allowed to heal up? No, they need to be on the ground to heal up. Well, that's a bit of a disappointment. We're going up against much tougher adversaries than I was expecting. Well, in that case, we need to turn to science to solve that. The Bill of Progress. You were founded to do science, and science you shall do. The Billnock clones. You guys, I would say, must be able to, yeah. These guys are the best that we've got at the minute, the Billnock clones. Commence cloning Billnocks. As many as we can actually have. You can have, yeah, like a 11 stack of Billnocks. That's got to be what does the job right there. So get working on that. We'll keep an eye on that. Back over here, meanwhile, that means we're going to have to bring our armies off of this world in order to send them over to finish the job over there. So that goes over there. You, transport fleet, head over towards this way, because apparently these guys can't do the job by themselves. But just a thought, this transport fleet that's been quite badly injured, I actually want to bring these guys back to here and have them land, because we already hold this planet, so once they go down onto the ground, they'll be able to rest up and they'll be able to recharge. So we're literally just going to swap our armies round, and then they're just sending in, I'm guessing that's transport fleets. That'll just be a basic transport fleet, presumably, and we'll probably back off. Oh no, it's, oh yes it is. Well, if you can get their armies, get them, because I think they're saying, haha, we'll be able to take Dorfil 1 back. Oh no, sorry, not Dorfil 1. Jug Nulhag. They're saying, oh, we'll be able to take that back. And I'm saying no, because you've got a strength of 19, and I've got a strength of 2,000. Are they? Yep, they've decided it's a really, really stupid idea. I'd like it if we can engage them before they can get out. Can we? Because if so, we're going to be able to wipe out their entire army. Come on, engage them, engage them, engage them before they flee. And, because I think their warp's not off cooldown.
Hostile fleet engaged.
Yes, now the only way they can get out is an emergency FTL, which they probably, if they're not idiots, they will activate, but I imagine we'll be able to get through some of their armies before they go out. These transport fleets, they are not strong in the slightest, and the bombers are coming in. This here, caught out of position, is the armies of the Kithri. And they are being torn to shreds. Oh, yes. And they're emergency FTLing out, but one was taken out before they made it. And better than that, I think I accidentally baited them, because by abandoning the planet, they saw an opportunity to try and take it back. So that actually kind of accidentally worked really, really well. Right, you lads, get over here. Go and... Wait, did you just take the planet? Yeah. I love you guys. You're the best guys. They just came over and they just took it. They just bloody took it. We own that now. Well done. That is beautiful. That is just wonderful that they've just taken that for me. Well done, lads. Now, we do, however, have a small problem, which is... Oh, hello. Where are you going? Where are you going? Are you going to try and... Disappeared. Fine. We've just wiped out like half their army, so I can't imagine there's going to be much going on here. Though they do have a general, and apparently we don't, so I should probably do that at some point. Right. What are we going to do now? Because we're only about like halfway to victory, and the fleet at this point is stretched pretty thin, to be honest. Well, we do have Corvette assembly yards here, so let's throw some money into just mass producing a ridiculous group of Corvettes. So you just get on that. Yeah, buy all them up front. That's fine. 17 Corvettes. Sure, why not? That seems like a sensible use of money. We're getting the money in. We may as well spend it, given we do actually desperately need to get a bloody fleet back. Duckburg, you are presumably still producing. Yep, you're still producing. Oh, now you're producing destroyers. That's fine. Just keep producing the destroyers. Destroyers are a reasonably kind of fast, easy way to get ships going, because we do actually need ships at the moment. You're right. And then over here, we've got another, just a handful of flipping destroyers again. Nothing special. Okay, good. The plan is working. My armies that have decided to have a breakdown here have at least... They're starting to regain their health. Very slowly, but I can see that health ticking up there. Something's just finished. Hyper shields! That seems like a good sort of thing. Oh, this could be an opportunity. The transport fleet is immediately warping out again. Yeah, they know. They know that they should not be hanging around here. The transport fleet's just desperately trying to catch me off guard. But, we're going to struggle here. Right, what do I need to do? Because I can't just hang out here. I've got to keep going, but the fleet is so flimsy at the minute. What I think we've got is we've got a fleet of 1,230. Okay, just send what fleet we have down to Dorfen, as well as 7th Murder as well. 7th Murder is... Where even the heck is that right now? New Duckburg. Oh, that must be a whole bunch of those lads. Yeah, just kind of get you guys down here as well. We're going to send reinforcements down here. And then we're going to... Oh, they've got a 1.6 strength army floating around here. Is it coming to try and take me on?
Hostile fleet engaged.
It is welcome to try if they want to throw away one of their flipping battle cruisers. But it might actually take out, rather irritatingly, some of the army of my allies at the same time. But the nice thing is here, because they're warping in, our bombers are going to be on top of them before they actually are able to start firing, because they're still kind of warping in at the minute. So we're going to get the shields down very, very quickly. But they seem to have really long-range weapons, which is quite interesting. That's kind of what they've got. They've got incredibly long-range weapons. And they just seem to like having like a couple of battleships supported by like a handful of corvettes. They're making a mistake. They're throwing away just the odd 1,000 together rather than actually waiting to build a proper fleet, which is good because it means they're kind of rebuilding as fast as they can, but it's just not doing them any good at all. And every single time they do that, it just gives me a tiny bit more war score. Right, let's check back in over here. Now they're to the stage where they can only really field fleets of about 1,000 or so, and even then they're kind of throwing them at the occupied planets. The best thing we can probably do is, yeah, these two fleets here, merge them. I don't even know what the hell you bloody are. You're going to be 2nd Murder or something. There are just fleets, like, literally everywhere. Right. A 1.9k fleet. That's not very, very good in the slightest, but it might be enough to go over here and just kind of have a little look-see at what's going on at the colonies. Because the colonies, I imagine, are going to be much more lightly defended. And 1.9 is enough to, if not necessarily win, if it draws their fleet in, then it will be enough that I can get reinforcements to them in time. I mean, I'm really hoping this works. If you have a look at the amount of money I've got coming in, my reserves are being eaten through very, very quickly. I could only keep producing for so long, but I've got to assume the same's true for them as well. And then fleet combat? Really? What's going on here? Oh my goodness, they've let their transport fleet get out of position again. They've actually... Why would you send your transport fleet in right now? That is going to be... Come on, if the bombers can just get on top of it. Down to 10. Down to... Yeah, the shields are almost down. Down to 8. 3. That is going to be their entire army gone. Nice. A very, very small amount of benefit. They've given up. Nice, they lost their entire army and they gave up. Thank goodness, because I didn't actually want to be taking part in this war any longer. Okay. So, What have we got? Oh, yes. That reunified. The Empire. When I say reunified, was it ever... I'm not sure that it was ever unified in the first place. I think that was just like a little spot in space. But now it's not. Now we actually have ourselves a flipping empire again. And it's all joined together. Do the Bilnoks mind what we've been doing, by the way? I imagine they don't... Yeah... They've not been keen. I realised when it says terror bombing, it didn't mean the terrorist atrocities. It meant the fact that I've been, you know, orbital bombarding, and that occasionally kills populations, and they don't like that. So, the Bilnoks potentially are not, in fact, going to necessarily come round and be our allies after all. But I don't think they're ever going to go to war to us. I don't think they're, you know, they're interested in close relations. They're inferior, so I don't think we need to worry about them. I think it's still better than the previous situation, but I think maybe I was a bit optimistic thinking I was going to be able to turn these guys into friends at least. And on the plus side, the mineral income has just jumped because we've just gained a whole flipping bunch of new stuff in. Lovely. Now, I think we need to bring everyone back here as quick as we can, actually. Luckily, we can get much of our money back because it's not actually committed when you put it down, so I can just cancel the production queues that I had set up. Right, production queues down. We're back up to 11,000 minerals, so we've kind of made back most of our reserves just because most of them were just committed to producing warships, which is convenient. Now, everyone needs to... I'd like everyone to just come back home. Everyone just come home, and then we'll figure out what the bloody hell to do with you later, because all of you probably need repairs. Second murder's in combat. Where? Guys, the war's over. The war is over. Are you... Yes, good. Well done. The war is indeed over. Please return home. Thank you. Excellent. I thought they were about to restart a war there. And while we didn't need it at the time, the clone armies, the replica forces, are actually ready to go. And I would say let's put them on some flipping Xeno cavalry. So the next time we have a war... You be careful, lads, because my clone armies on their Xeno beasts are now ready, and I very, very much like the sound of sending them out against someone who annoys me. We also get any of the other worlds that originally belonged to the Kithri, because I believe that this here used to... Yes, you see, this mining station, you can see from the design, is not one of ours. That's fungoid, but we've just taken it over, so we just get to inherit... this here station here, this world. I'm pretty sure we didn't have this before. This was just kind of a black hole providing 5 physics. That's very, very nice. We've got Taramba. We've got this area. In fact, these guys have actually done a pretty good job of... Oh, we got rule. We actually got rule. That's brilliant, because we definitely didn't have that before, did we? No, this belonged to... Yeah, this definitely belonged to them, and I remember seeing all along that's a really good system. Just look at all the stuff I'm getting out of there. That's fantastic. But of course, the most exciting thing we are getting is, of course, the planets. And not just the planets we've got, but the planets we could build. Because the interesting thing is, well, let's start over here in Dorfil. We have got the planet of Jurg Coolheg. Now, these guys are, would you believe, they're not actually that happy at the moment. So, hostile fauna, recently conquered minus 20%. Okay, that will fade within... a year, so that's not to be worried about. Orbital bombardment, again, that will fade over time. Leadership, unrestricted wars, they're not keen on that. But I think we can get them a little bit happier over time. How's your... Yeah, you must be... Oh, you see, this actually is a not happy world full stop because of the bloody hostile fauna, which is unfortunate. But what we can do, however, is, well... We can... Do we even want the military academy here? I kind of feel like we don't want the military academy here. Because what we probably want to be doing instead is getting rid of some of that. Are you fed, by the way? Yeah, you're plenty fed. We're not going to be building armies here. I'm going to build armies on my clone planet homeworld over on Camino or whatever it's called. So we're going to demolish this. Yep, we're going to get rid of that. And in its place, we are going to build a paradise dome for you. Happiness plus 10%. Add on in a year's time, you'll have got over the whole recently conquered thing, and hopefully the bombardment thing, though I'm not sure about that one. We will, we will actually upgrade all of your buildings. Is that not lovely of us? Oh, the engineering facility. Oh no, it didn't get destroyed. I thought that looked like rubble to me, but no, that is just an engineering facility. Apparently you guys have just been working on the engineering. That's interesting. It's nice to see how other civilizations, like, what they decide to do. It's very, very interesting. Yeah, this all looks fine to me. Yeah, I think these guys can basically be left on their own now. We don't really need to worry about them in the slightest. I'll give them a spaceport, however. Build a spaceport, because a spaceport, you can see that has an immediate impact on your fleet capacity. My fleet capacity is over 200 now. That's a good, nice jump, mind. And indeed, we actually have the assault army. An assault army is actually lodging here. That's fine. We'll keep them there just in case these bastards cause any trouble with us. But this is the one I really had my eye on up here, which is, well, actually, the particularly interesting thing is, of course, is it would appear, having withdrawn, because we don't have the technology for defense stations, the defense station has just ceased to exist. So we never had to destroy it, but it ceased to exist. So that's actually pretty bloody good. Again, we've inherited a research station, but down here, over on Hadoofis 3, this is actually not a bad little world. Not very habitable, but the thing about habitability, of course, is I can choose who to send. It's not very habitable for us, but for the Bill Knox, and actually for the Mighty Ducks, it's still 50%, though that is a 50% happiness cap, which is a bit of a problem, but it's not so bad. I mean, I can see why the Kithru never came here. For them, it's horrendous. They are mushrooms. They apparently don't like tundras for whatever reason. Interesting. So I might want to go and set this world up, because, yeah, intriguing. Also, of course, because I've already got a world here, it doesn't count towards this, because that is 15 systems. So I'm 10 out of 15 right now, and if I take this world, because I've already got one in here, so this system's already counting as a core system, that's a freebie. So that's definitely a thing potentially worth doing. But let's have a look, see what's going on over here. Also, this... Is that your... Oh, that must be... Oh yes, that is indeed a fungoid system which I have just inherited. That's lovely. Well, you know what? We will upgrade it for you a few times. Why not? I will be lovely and I will benevolently upgrade it to level... Yeah, screw it. I'll upgrade it straight to level 6, one by one. That'll have a good impact on the fleet size, even though that's a massive waste of money. But look how fast money's coming in, and we're not going to have much... Ooh, you've got propaganda broadcast on at the minute. That's intriguing. They must have activated that before I took it over. Now... Down on the surface here, yeah, this is a much smaller, crappier planet, to be honest, so... But it seems less unhappy, really. Happiness is at 25%. Ah, because it was never bombarded. Now, that's actually worth thinking about. That's a really interesting tactical decision, which is if I want to come into, like, say, if I wanted to come and take over these 3 areas, I would never want to bomb these areas. I would want to bomb these 2 and these 3 over here. Sorry, there's only 2 over there, and then anything that's left over here, and do that. Because then, the worlds I'm actually taking over haven't been bombed. Now that's really, really interesting. That's something I hadn't really thought about before, but that's actually, yeah, well worth considering. That's very clever. Anyway, once again, we will upgrade all of your buildings for you. See, the Romans, we've come in, we've brought roads. How can you possibly hate us when we have brought roads? This is interesting. There is a production error in the government. Oh no, that's not the government, that's a Xeno Zoo. But it can't function unless there's an alien pet. That's intriguing. So right now, it's not actually doing anything. Hello, little droid, you're a robot, I don't care about you. So right now, this building can't do anything because I don't have the pet. So in that case, I'm going to demolish it. Right, demolish that. And we're going to build a Paradise Dome. Robot, get on with building me a Paradise Dome. I've got all this bloody influence all of a sudden, so that's very, very good. Another flipping military academy. I think, well, why not, quite frankly. I'm not sure what else I could really do here. There's nothing else on that spot. Upgrade your mining networks. Missing, Betharian. That is a Betharian power plant, so we're going to be demolishing that because we can't do anything with it, unfortunately. We'll upgrade your basic power plant, of course. And these guys, I think, will actually genuinely come round to us pretty quickly, actually. I would like to think that give it 2 years, these guys will actually be a valued member of our kind of empire. The only reason it didn't work out with these bastards was because they were dicks and they refused to integrate because they were xenophobic and very, very religious and fundamentalist religious. They refused to get involved. So screw these guys, quite frankly. But I would say right here we have done ourselves very, very nicely. This empire is starting to get pretty big. Like, how many empires are there in the entire galaxy that are bigger than this? I mean, we're not the biggest, but I'd say we're like about the same size as the Zikmoks. We're probably slightly, actually with all this together, we're probably slightly smaller than these guys over here. We're bigger than the Finus. We're definitely not as big as the Rekthalar. Anyway, give it a year and we'll see how we're getting. Oh, hello. Who are you? The Haidari League? Wait a bloody minute. You weren't part of that. I feel like the poor little koala people over here have just been torn apart into shreds and forced to separate out into other empires. Poor little lambs. Meanwhile, let's have a look what the new state of this is. Because right now, yeah, you've got these two lads over here who are presumably fairly well isolated. Then we've got, what is, yeah, 5 decent-sized core worlds down here. Right now, they are fleet power pathetic, naval capacity equivalent, technology superior. So, once they rebuild, they'll be in alright shape. But I suspect they won't be able to rebuild as effectively as they would have done previously, purely because, yeah, we've just smashed their fleet. So, I think potentially we might be in a good position to at some point just head down there and not finish them off so much as force them to become a brand new empire that agrees a little bit more with little old me. And finally, all these bloody fleets around here, all of you fleets, everyone just merge back into one. We'll split you back out if we need to later, but everyone merge, lovely. And return to orbit. I imagine several of you do actually need repairs of some description. So in they go, and the repairs do indeed commence. Marvellous. Now, do we actually have any improvements come through yet? I think we're still waiting on the final round of the kinetic gun thing. But I think there was some very small improvements, if I recall correctly. Yeah, we have rank 4 of the thrusters, which gives us sublight speed. Oh, sublight speed plus an extra 10 percentage points. Actually 50% higher in real terms. And chance to evade up. That is well worth doing. Meanwhile, we can move the destroyers over to the highest class of shield, albeit we're going to need a little bit more power, unfortunately. The cruisers, meanwhile, have gained an extra 150 points of shield, and indeed the impulse thrusters, having moved the shields over to class 5. The battleship gains another 175 points of shielding, and indeed the impulse thrusters as well. And the capital bloodshed also gains the impulse thrusters and a handful of extra shields. And all of that is now being upgraded. We're down to 11.3, so I'd say we need a fairly major rebuilding program in effect, actually. Though first, what's actually left, by the way? Did we have a... We don't have a single flipping battleships. Not one survived. Beautiful. Couple of corvettes mixed in there these days, though, thanks to the ones that were produced over in the money bin and never actually used for anything. And the repairs are complete. Beautiful. But yes, I would say we definitely need to be getting on with some brand new... A new capital class. There we are. And then maybe we can just toss in... Just like... Maybe a couple of... it's probably a little bit aggressive. Maybe just 1 or 2 for now. We're going to burn through our money very, very quickly here. I've got a bit of it back by being less generous to Jurg Halag. And I'm going to keep their planets name what they are, by the way. I'm not going to rename their planets. That would be mean. So Jurg Halag is now only going to go up to level 3. And as a result, we can spend the rest of the money on flipping cruisers and battleships and destroyers. But yeah, we definitely want to be getting a fair bit of our strength back yet. And that there, in fact, is the entirety of our money dealt with. That is our entire reserve burnt out by this here war. That's a little bit on the concerning side, and as a result of that, I think, as we've now got all of this bloody influence coming in, 3.7 every month, let's have a think about what we can do to fix this. Minerals plus 15%, energy credits minus 5%. Well, I'd say given we are at capacity energy and could do with doing some more money, that there strikes me as just what we need to be doing, and it's only 0.65. That was an old one I got off some ancient mining drones bloody ages ago at the very beginning of the game, and that is going to be well worth just keeping on for the moment. Meanwhile, more specifically, over in the Grand Money Bin and the Money Bin itself, I assume you guys are... You guys should be pretty much full up by now, right? Yeah, let's just get you up to a planetary capital as well. That will be a very worthwhile thing to do. And the fleet capacity rises to 205. And with all this energy, we should definitely be building a fleet that uses all of that up, especially as our war with the Kithri perhaps surprised me for how difficult it was. Hello, Democratic Zikmox. Yes, I'll trade star charts for star charts. Now, just out of interest, what do you guys over in the Kithri now think of me? You are hostile, obviously, and obviously you guys hate me and will continue to do so. Was at war. Only minus 22. Interestingly, border friction is worse than the fact that we were murdering them very recently with a war we started. That is Very, very intriguing. I think all our governors just sort of died and we never really got round to replacing them. Maybe we should use some of this influence to do that at some point. Oh dear. Over on Jurg Kuntheg especially, we should definitely give these guys a governor. Yes, recruit some more governors. Ideally, just happy people. Lovely happy people. There aren't any happy people. That's fine. In that case, we'll go for the cheap lad. There you go. You, Claws of Grey. Though admittedly, trying to stay on top of everything that I'm doing with all these planets now is admittedly starting to rather teach me the value of potentially there is sense in the fact that most empires don't get 15 core systems. It might be just a little bit too much. Maybe actually, you know what, 5's not as bad as I was originally thinking it was. And yes, as I was speculating previously, over on Duckburg, you don't get a choice when you're sending people out into the stars because there's zero ethics divergence. Everyone agrees because the Letheric Manipulator and Capital World and Planetary Capital, if nothing else, Capital World and Planetary Capital kind of together mean that there'll never be any ethics divergence. Everyone just agrees. It's only when you send people out into the black together that people start disagreeing on things. Intriguing. And we are going to have, yeah, a lot of ships coming in over time here. And then, of course, one very important final thing to check here. We need to find out over in our own empire. Yes, the factions. The factions indeed. What do we have going on here? Quack Prime Freedom Fighters? No, they're not doing anything whatsoever good. Anyone actually dangerous? The only one that's really mattering here is, of course, the Kithrian Reed Patriarchs who want to return to the United Kithri sovereignty. Okay, so what can we do potentially with them? Now, I don't want to return all the planets, obviously. I suspect the appeal of these lads will go down quite significantly once the first year's done and happiness goes up. We'll see. We'll see, but I expect, like, I've built paradise domes on both of their planets. I think once it all settles down a little bit, I think we'll actually be alright. Yeah, this world seems pretty happy already, which is interesting. That's oh, sorry, that is a paradise dome, I was going to say. Is that a farm, or is that... Yeah, I have indeed given you a paradise dome over here. So, your happiness actually already seems okay. 35% happiness isn't fine. It used to, by the way, originally when you played this game, unless it was over 80 or below... I don't know if maybe if it was even below 20, only then it was a problem. Like between 80 and 20, it made no difference. Now it's not. Now it's a linear scale above and below 50%. So now, like, even the slightest change does actually make a difference, which is a really good change, actually, that Paradox have made there. So as a result, like, every little bit counts. But as long as they're in the yellow, for now, like, they're recently conquered and they're at 35%. I think these guys will be fine given time. And one more thing that I've realised I actually have been wanting to do for quite a bit of time. So, you know StarMag, who are basically dicks. These evangelising zealots who, you know, cause all sorts of problems. They're actively hostile, they hate us, they won't work with us diddly-diddly-dee because they're basically dicks. I've realised we need to replace them. And I've got a plan to do it. Rather than just having them there, which is annoying, and rather than just actually having them kind of be in our empire, where they cause trouble, there's a different solution, which is there's nothing actually stopping us from just heading over here, declaring war on them. Now, it's been long enough since the last time we were at war with them. How many times have we been at war with these bastards, by the way? I don't know. And there's a couple of useful things we can do. One thing we can do, by the way, is tell them to stop atrocities. We can stop the atrocities. Marvellous. And that just gets us 100 free influence, which is lovely. But if I were to liberate their only planet, then in theory, what I would get is, well, I'd get 100 influence for nothing, but I'd also get these guys changed into much friendlier, more cuddly people. Huh? You see? Intriguing. And I personally think that is well worth doing. We're just going to basically take this one planet and we're going to turn it into a better empire. So that's it. We're at war with you. Screw you. You caused us trouble. I don't like you. First murder, 17,000 strong. Go over there, destroy whatever it is they've got in their crappy, crappy little empire, and then we're just going to take it over. You know how we're going to take it over? Because we've got a flipping clone army of, you know, cloned Billnocks on their Xeno beasts ready to go. So I think we're going to be able to handle this very, very nicely indeed. The Ganlarev Holy Kingdom have responded. We expected this sooner. You will find our forces are ready for you.
Complete.
Okay. We'll see about that. Apparently they're up for this. Well, let's just see how they do then. First Murder is slowly being rebuilt, by the way, up to 17.8 thousand at the moment. Not spectacular, but I would say strong enough to deal with these bastard space weasels who have been a thorn in my side long enough. Oh, I like this angle, by the way. That's a good angle. They have a fleet of 1,200 and nowhere to actually run. And right now they are not actually moving in on us. They've decided they don't want to move in. What else have you got there? You've got space station. Oh, it's our space station. It's the one we built. They're going to use it against us. What a bunch of dicks. Our warp wind down is ready, and that means we move in. Their fleet has detected us, and it's time to spread out. I think this is presumably nothing but basic... Yeah, it's nothing but corvettes. I very much doubt they're going to be able to penetrate our shields, to be perfectly honest. That's... Oh, another corvette. Oh, don't worry. Another corvette's joined in. Oh, we might want to be careful now. I bet the other Ganlarevs are going to show off at some point, too. They normally do show up at some point. What weapons do these guys use, by the way? Oh, our battleship has just started firing. Lovely. And income, they are just sort of floating around. Our bombers are now getting involved. They've started falling apart before... I'm not sure they've even fired yet. I think their weapons don't have the range of ours. So they are, yep, being pretty well... Actually, I've just kind of realised one potential small issue, which is, what if we are actually incapable of doing enough war score to win this war? Ever. Because they're literally too weak to be beaten. I'm not sure if that's a thing. Is that even a thing that's allowed to happen? I hope not. Anyway, their fleets are doing a nice little circle of death, literally just kind of waiting their turn to die. Oh, we've won. I think we just won the war. They just gave up. And that means they're now going to become an entirely different empire. Yep, they're still Starmag, but now they're the Ganlarev Confederation of Regents. At one point I should go through how many names these bastards have had. And that means you can just return home, First Murder. I think you've done your job pretty well. We didn't even need the clone army in the end. Well done. So you can just head over here. Where's the clone army fleet? You can just go and hang out over here too. Why not? And we didn't even bombard the planet, so they should be 100% fine with us. Our forces decide to pull out. Clearly, luckily, the game decided 100% victory was guaranteed the moment we destroyed literally their entire fleet. And now if we speak to these guys are now very, very friendly. Which isn't really how invasion and occupation... I mean, I feel this is how George W. Bush really hoped his Middle East invasions were going to go. That if you go in and stamp on them, then they get immediately magically replaced by people who agree with you and want to be your friends. But it didn't actually go that way. But it does in Stellaris, so that's lovely. Maybe George W. Bush enjoys playing Stellaris, who knows. But they are now peaceful traders, peaceful bureaucracy, pacifists, fanatical materialists... Lovely, lovely people. 100% fine. I'm willing to offer them a migration treaty because these guys actually want them in my area right now. They agree with me. There's going to be no ethical issues because they all agree with me. That's 100% fine. And they're actually quite useful for recruiting into armies. In fact, I think I saw the option I could make them a protectorate. And I believe protectorate status actually is beneficial. Yeah, protectorate. Blessed Pyrex gets me +1. So I'm going to offer these guys protectorate status. So, are you willing to become a client state? And I think that will actually get me a bit of extra influence on top. And they have indeed accepted. They're not vassals, they're protectorates. Now it's gone up to, wait, hang on. Yeah, protectorate plus another 1. Oh, and technically that means I'm not guaranteeing their independence anymore. So now my influence gain has actually jumped to +4 a month. +4 a month is fantastic. That means I could really start actually nationalist sabotage. Well, not everything's gone to plan. You blew up the Paradise Dome. I have to spend 2 influence to repair that. You were supposed to be the happy lads. I didn't even realise I had a major problem with you. Let's just replace all of you with bloody robots. Robots are always happy. Alright, spend 100 influence getting these guys down a bit. And that, bloody hell, that has so little impact, doesn't it? Right, so well, at the bare minimum... I've got that down to what I think now is 0... Oh, no, sorry. It's still going to be 5%. It's just that there's been a recent sabotage. Right, I can't go spending influence that fast. on this. Like, influence cannot be thrown away quite that quickly. And nationalist corruption has just flipping snuck onto this world as well. Alright, so potentially managing these lads is not going to be quite as easy as I had hoped. You see, the advantage I've got is they like being at peace, meaning they're a little bit less likely to cause trouble. What's causing this over here? This building's been deactivated. Well, activate it then. Some of these people who are really pacifists are even getting plus 15% off peace, which actually works quite nicely, and they hate even limited orbital bombardment. I'll tell you what, I could make a change there. Like, I feel like if we slow down the bombardment just a little bit, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. So orbital bombardment, let's change that over to light. I mean, it doesn't actually cost anything, it just means we can't change it back for 10 years. So that now is over to light, okay? Is there anything else you lads would like me to do? Leadership primary species only, well, I can't do anything about that. War philosophy, unrestricted wars. Well, I could change that, but I feel like I'd regret it if I did. I quite like having the option to go to war at least. Some of you are just fundamentally unhappy because of the whole materialist thing. That's fine, that's to be expected. What about those of you who are happier? Those of you who are happier are happy because the dome, the peace... It's mainly the peaceful people, isn't it? Yeah, it's the peaceful ones. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised this place is the one that went wrong first. Like, okay, Kithrian doesn't belong to anyone. Loyalist, Kithrian, that's a robot. Kithrian, oh dear. Fine, so there's a lot of Kithrian repatriarchs over here, and that's gonna cause, oh bloody hell, like everyone but one person here are the Kithrian repatriarchs. Well, alright, let's do this. Let's just commit to this for a few years, just for the sake of it. Yep, for 10 years, we're going to be saying liberation wars only, no unrestricted war. And that then should also help us out. Just slowly start bringing people around here. Like, as soon as the flipping recently conquered thing goes away, I think these people should come around. I mean, we haven't seen much in the way of bombing from them, but equally I have been running time slowly. Okay, this is starting to get worrying at this point. Unfortunately, the faction has started to reach, yeah, 60% flipping popularity with literally everyone on the planet. They are gaining, well, they've got a chance of gaining 10% a month, of 5.6, but months tick by very, very quickly in this here game. And if it reaches 90% or so, then there is a decent chance the defensive armies will just spawn and try and take the planet. Now, if that happens, I feel like we can handle it. In fact, over here, in fact, on Jute Kudheg, we already, in fact, have, well, we've got offense armies. They're not the best armies, but they're here. I feel like, actually, what we should probably do is head over to this one, the smaller one. You lot head over there. Meanwhile, the clone army, my main army, you lot head down here. I want to have armies on the ground. If there's going to be a rebellion, I want to be able to take care of it. Okay, so my basic post the Mighty Ducks army, by far my weakest army, I would say, though not terrible. They're alright. They're, you know, they've got some good stuff on them, all things considered. I did kind of fit them out nicely, and they're certainly better than the Mighty Ducks army would be. They're not as weak as the main Mighty Ducks are. Who died this time? Oh, just the guy in New Duckburg. That's 100% fine. But this is what we should really be interested in. Here we are, the clone armies with their Xeno cavalry. Now this stuff is good. Land the armies over here on Jurg Kutheg, because these lads have quite... Oh, hang on, has it worn off? Yes, it's worn off. The recently conquered thing, I don't know exactly how long it was, but it's gone away, and someone new's making touch. Hello, you must have just been created, I'm guessing. Peace be with you, whoever you are. Lovely. Yeah, I'm going to have the armies here anyway, but look at this. Happiness has jumped up to 59%. Paradise Dome, they like the governor, we're at peace. The only thing they're really upset with, by the way, is, yeah, the hostile fauna, which I can't do anything about, and the fact leadership is primary only. But again, I can't really do anything about that. I hope they don't mind the occupation, by the way. Is that going to annoy anyone? No. Everyone seems pretty well happy with me, actually. Meanwhile, back at the other world, everyone's flipping into the green. 65% happiness. And I'm just going to keep upgrading your buildings to say thank you. Because I believe in investing in you. Because you've invested your trust in me. And I suspect the next time this thing expires... Let's just speed this up till that expires. But I think the next time that expires, that should hopefully be gone for good. No, unfortunately, it is still there, at least for the minute. I think it's going to take time for this to actually work its way through the system. But I reckon we're onto a good thing here. Oh, yeah. It's going rapidly down. This is good. Chance to gain 10% a month is now down to flipping 2.9%. Okay, that was at like 5% at some point. And I'm guessing these populations, now it's down to... That's at 17. I mean, if I just speed forward a little bit, I'm assuming 16. Yes. Yes, this has stopped being at all appealing. Down to 11. Oh, this is... And apparently one on the farthest reach. Someone just kind of migrated off to the farthest reach. And they keep believing in the United Kithri sovereignty long after they've bloody abandoned Kithri. Oh. This here. This is just right. Yes, we've actually done it. We've actually found a way of bringing... Well, you say, okay, you know what, I don't care. I do not... How can you even still be... How can that even still be happening? Like, there should be... Well, between... Okay, if the support effect is between 50 and 90%, then... But then, it's not between... Is it between 50 and 90%? Oh, it's currently at 60. But it's not. Because... And no, it's not at 60% faction support, because literally it's falling away to nothing right now. So why is that happening? Alright, fine. Come back to that in a moment. Apparently we've got some new research to do. What did you just research, by the way? You just did... Ooh, kinetic weapon damage plus 5%. I like that. Well done. Ooh, battleship assembly yards. Yeah, get on with that. I occasionally do build battleships. That's quite useful. It's still interesting saying that there is 60% faction support, even though there's only 2 pops that are actually... backing this faction, and the attraction is at -12. I don't understand what that means. Like, does that mean now that if I were to suppress the media, it would make a bigger impact? Like, oh, okay, so that's actually made a okay, if I could just get rid of the corrupt... Wait, have I just started sabotage again? No, keep suppressing the media. Yep, fine. Do I just need to... It's like literally there's no way to get this down other than by using this. Even though, how can there be 40% for a faction when there's... That doesn't even make sense to me. Right, well, if I just double suppress the media now and use all my influence, then that should get them out of the way. Okay, I understand that, like, it stays high once it's up, because that means it can rise again. It's got a very low chance of rising 10% each month, and that will put it back up to 30. But it strikes me as utterly, utterly baffling that officially over half the population of an entire species still support something when literally only 2 populations actually do it. That doesn't make... I mean, I vaguely see what they were going at with this mechanic, but it doesn't actually make sense. So, I mean, like, it looks to me actually like the most effective way to deal with this is just to suppress the media. It's just to throw 50 influence and 400 energy, because I've got tons of energy, so that's fine. So I can just throw that. So if this ever becomes a problem, then in theory, yeah, if like the far build popular vanguard ever reaches 25%, then presumably the game will flag it, and I can just pump influence at suppressing the media to get that back down again. But at this point, there should be no corruption and no sabotage. Yep, no sabotage and no sabotage. Everyone here is a happy, happy camper. In fact, they're actually pretty happy. 65% happiness, base 50, we're at peace. There's a paradise dome. The only thing kind of annoying you is the leadership and war philosophy thing, but I'd say this is actually pretty decent. Now, actually, just thinking about it, how good are you at fighting? You are kind of terrible, actually. I could clone you. I guess probably I shouldn't do that. I suspect that would... Also, I could clone droids. I think you may have just slightly misunderstood how droids work there. But apparently if I clone the droids, they get better. Because we genetically improve the droid. You know, that makes perfect sense. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, there he is. There's the bastard who decided to run away to the farthest reach. But fortunately, he's ended up rejoining the Loyalist and is now just sitting out in the forest being unemployed. So screw him, quite frankly. Well, I would say the risk of an uprising among these lads is now well and truly taken care of. So we are going to embark up the army and send it back on its way. No reason to occupy this planet for no reason. We can literally send them back home. Ladies and gentlemen, I am thrilled to confirm roughly what I was hoping and expecting would happen somewhere around now, because we're about, I think, 150 years after the beginning of the game, technically, and a very special alert has just popped up here, which is instruments across the infinite pond have suddenly picked up a subspace power surge of massive proportions coming from somewhere within our galaxy. Our scientists are struggling to come up with an explanation for this event. Nothing of its like has ever been recorded. The exact origin point of this sudden power surge has yet to be identified, but we are still in the process of analysing the available data. Now, I do not know, this is the first time I've ever reached this point in the game. However, I believe this is the trigger for one of the massive galactic crises that is basically what happens at the end of the game. So I'm going to say, keep at it and slow down time a little bit, because I suspect a massive galactic crisis has just kicked off. Yes, I know, we can now deal with volcanoes. Beautiful. And you are administrative efficiency. Oh my god, I've never even bloody seen that before. Maybe it happens when you've... I don't know what even triggers that. What's it from? Like, I know this thing. This is actually a repeatable tech that shows up that basically means you can just increase your core systems. And I was about to talk more about that. Let's just get that in production. But yes, as I was suspecting, the Unbidden, the source of the massive power surge we detected earlier, has been identified. It comes from some sort of gigantic subspace tear in the Zyrak system. Zyrak, okay. Fleets of strange spacecraft are pouring out of this dimensional portal. Early reports speak of indiscriminate attacks and everyone coming into contact with them. We have intercepted a powerful signal being sent from the arriving vessels to somewhere on the other side of the portal. It sounds like a hunting call. And this begins the Unbidden event chain.
Situation log updated.
And hello there, you're from another dimension. Feeding ground reach. Pray bountiful, at long last we shall feast. What exactly are these things indeed? To the situation log for the first time in bloody forever. So a massive tear, indeed, terrifying thing, beings from another dimension, and the dimensional portal, the portal from which the extra dimension invaders are spilling forth, has been detected in the Zyrak system. They will be able to continuously reinforce the numbers until it has been destroyed. Track on the map, okay? Let's go over here. Where is the damn thing? And it is really worryingly close to me. So you dicks have been playing with dimensional technology, haven't you? And as a result, something very, very bad has happened. Right, let's just send a nice little construction ship over here to have a look what's going on in Chaitar. Because I strongly suspect that the Tiles, who I was thinking of attacking soon, me and them might need to suddenly become really, really good friends, alright? Just... let's send something over there to have a little explore as to what the heck is going on in the Zyrak system, while I desperately keep building up my new fleet. And unfortunately, long before my flipping little scout ship, just a construction ship I'm sending in, could even flipping make it here, yes, it would appear the Unbidden have taken quite a bit of territory. In fact, the good old Twaxel, whatever they were called, have basically been pretty much evaporated in the space of under a month. So let's just quickly kind of head over there and see what's going on. We're going to get a view of that in a second. There we are, they're warping in. So our ship will be coming into Zyrak momentarily. Apparently there's a... oh, that's not a very good world, to be honest. Let's just kind of prepare ourselves to see what's going on here. And we have got ourselves...
Construction ship under attack.
I think it just got eviscerated before I could even see what was happening. That there is a good sign. And any chance there could be peace between us, terrifying beings from another dimension? Peace. No peace. Well, make your mind up. So, ladies and gentlemen, as it would appear that the Unbidden monstrosities from another dimension who have just come here to feast upon us have indeed decided to spawn just bloody south of where I am. I'm going to have to try and figure out what the bloody hell it is I can actually do to stop these guys, because right now I don't actually know. I tried to send a scout ship in and it was destroyed before we could even see what actually attacked it. So that is immensely promising. I'm going to scramble a fleet as quickly as possible. I'm just throwing up everything everywhere. I'm going to try and get my fleet capacity up as quickly as possible. Everywhere that doesn't have a spaceport, I'm just going to start building spaceports and just upgrading it like mad. Yes, you can have a spaceport. Everyone gets a spaceport because spaceports increase my capacity. So, spaceports for everyone. You can see that, look, it's actually a pretty big increase. Everyone that doesn't get a spaceport, or spaceports that do exist, get upgraded, because we've got plenty of money right now, because that just gives me a little more boost. Just spaceports for everyone. These guys are already upgraded, damn it. Lovely. So we're going to hopefully get our fleet capacity up to about 300, and once that's done, as soon as I've actually fully built that fleet should hopefully, and we've definitely got the power to power the damn thing, I'm thinking that fleet should be able to be worth about, well, hopefully at least 40 to 50,000 K. And once that happens, maybe, just maybe, the Unbidden are expanding quickly now. Maybe, just maybe, if we were to join forces with the tiles, we might just be able to stand up to them. But me and the tiles have our differences. I just don't know whether they'll be up for it. But that's next time, ladies and gentlemen. We are coming to the dramatic end of Stellaris, it would seem, and we are going to have to fight back these creatures or die trying, and that's coming up soon. But in the meantime, I've been John. It's been many a true nerd, and this has been Stellaris. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Oi! You bastard! That was mostly still fine. Stolen the bridge! All we need to do is create a counterweight over here. This is like bridge ballast. Come on! Uh-oh. No. Wait. That's fine. That creaking's supposed to happen.